just remind you that under this administration back in April, you saw the unemployment rate hit a record low at 4.7%, and that was just a couple months ago. Again, under this administration. Look, this data certainly particularly is volatile, and that is something that we understand. So it's most useful to measure in a quarterly basis over 3 months instead of one to smooth out noise, right? Because this one is a little bit more noisy. So the black jobless rate last quarter was tied with the previous quarter for the lowest on the record. So that is also important to note. So this is why we continue to say how important Bidenomics is, how it has actually worked for all Americans, not leaving anyone behind. When you think about more black Americans are employed in the labor force, when you think about more black Americans have health care with average of almost 50% in healthcare.gov coverage, we achieved the fastest rate of new black-owned businesses in over 25 years. We're investing in infrastructure in communities of color that are normally left behind, that are normally not taken in consideration. And so we're reconnecting those communities that are separated, and we're closing the digital divide for black Americans because of the bipartisan infrastructure legislation when you think about broadband. So all of these things are part of comes out of part of the president's key signature pieces of legislation that clearly are into law now and that we're implementing. So there is an effort to make sure that we continue to do the bottom up, middle out, and not do this trickle down economy.
Are these numbers a cause for concern, or are you looking at it as a blip because these are?
So what I said was this data is particularly volatile, so we have to make sure that we look at it more holistically because it's a volatile data. But there are also data points that I just pointed to, right, that show that under this administration we have seen record low unemployment when you think about the black community, 4.7% ever since we started tracking unemployment rate in different communities. So that matters, and so that's why the president continues to talk about Bidenomics and continues to implement some of these key historic pieces of legislation that is going to help communities like in the black community. Okay.
Hello, friends. More and more checks are expected to arrive for many Americans throughout this summer and fall. Lawmakers are finally agreeing to provide low-income households with extra financial aid. Relief may arrive in either the form of a one-time direct deposit or new tax credits. My dearest friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video for the latest details. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Tax rebate checks are often part of a tax policy aimed at providing refunds or credits to taxpayers. These checks are typically sent out after individuals file their annual tax returns and are determined to be eligible for a refund or a credit. The specific eligibility criteria for tax rebates vary depending on tax laws and regulations in each state. A large number of states have announced that they will be mailing and depositing relief checks for many of their residents. During a recently wrapped legislative session, Minnesota lawmakers agreed to send tax rebates to residents of Minnesota who meet certain income thresholds. The rebates are $260 for individuals with adjusted gross incomes of up to $75,000 and $520 for couples who filed joint returns with incomes of up to $150,000. People within those limits will also receive an additional $260 per dependent for up to 3 dependents. A family of 5 that meets the income threshold could receive a $1,300 tax rebate. Rebates are expected to go out via direct deposit and paper checks starting this fall. It is important to note that taxpayers will not have to apply for this payment. Also, the state of Georgia has a very large budget surplus. The surplus was more than $6 billion, of which $1 billion the governor has decided to return to taxpayers in the form of these payments. Georgia tax filers may have already received some extra cash. The Georgia Department of Revenue and the governor's office recently announced that the first round of surplus tax refund checks have been issued. The extra money is an additional refund of income taxes from 2021, stemming from the state's revenue surplus. To receive the funds, filers must have paid and filed taxes for the past 2 tax years. According to a spokesperson for the agency, Georgia's Department of Revenue has already processed over 1.1 million refunds, totaling $257 million. So if you are a resident of the state of Georgia and you have not received your money yet, please do not worry. The Department of Revenue said the refunds will go out over the next 8 weeks for those who filed by April 18th, 2023. Those who filed after the tax deadline will of course have to wait a little longer, as refunds will not be issued until one's 2022 tax returns have been processed. A Wall Street Journal analysis of Federal Reserve data reveals a concerning financial situation for people ages 30 to 39 years old. The demographic accumulated nearly $4 trillion in debt during the fourth quarter of 2022, reflecting a substantial $140 billion rise from the preceding quarter. According to Yahoo News, the mounting debt is indicative of broader economic challenges faced by this generation. The New York Fed's data reveals that millennials in their 30s are accumulating debt at an alarming rate and are struggling with credit card and auto loan repayments. Delinquency rates in these areas have also soared, further compounding their financial difficulties. New data has also shown that 73% of U.S. millennials in this age group live paycheck to paycheck. More than 1/3 of millennials say their student loans have prevented them from purchasing a home. This shows that student debt has been a significant barrier for millennials in achieving their goal of home ownership and overall financial stability. The interest-free payment pause, also known as forbearance, was initially implemented as an emergency measure in response to the crisis under the former president's administration in March 2020. But over the course of 3 years, this relief measure was extended 9 times. But with its expiration, student loan borrowers must adjust to the reality of making student loan payments once again. A significant portion of the 22 to 37-year-olds surveyed revealed a concerning trend in their retirement savings habits. According to this survey, a considerable number of respondents said that their monthly contributions to retirement savings were lower than what they spend on various consumer goods. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this evening. My dear friends, I will be announcing several winners for the $75 Walmart gift card giveaway in a video later today. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on my greatest friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you so much and have a wonderful and very blessed Friday.